It is Monday, April 22nd of 2024. I cannot believe how quickly this month is going by. But time is not an issue today. On Guy's Daily Drive, bam! Welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Couple things. I went down to Fredericksburg, where my son Peter lives, and picked up, and Liza, his fiance, and picked up a bunch of stuff for their wedding, which is coming up in June, and drove it up here to stage it, because where the event is taking place, you have to go through a bunch of mountains to get to it from where they live, where it's mostly interstate here and it's a little bit closer. So it just made more sense to stage everything here at the house, and then they'll just go ahead and, we'll just drive everything out to where the event's going to take place. And the it wasn't that bad. They actually drove up with us with more stuff, because it was more stuff than you could fit in this car. There we go. Okay. And it was really, really nice to have both of them up here. And between me and my various health issues lately, and some of the issues that Tracy has been going through, we've been kind of slacking on the stuff that we need to do around the house. And they came up and they did like a whirlwind cleanse of the house. They vacuumed the whole house. They cleaned the bathrooms. They organized some stuff. They took some junk away from our huge amount of junk that we have, which, it was outstanding. And I am so grateful that they stepped up the way they did. That was amazing. And we took them out to dinner. We went to a local Mexican chain called El Paso, which it's really good. And they had something going on that I had not seen there before. They actually had, I think it's like a mariachi band. And if I got that wrong, I apologize. A Mexican mariachi band. I don't know if everybody that was playing was Mexican, but they were all Latin Americans. And they had some really cool instruments. The guitar player, I have not seen a guitar like this before. It was an acoustic guitar, which isn't unusual. So it's got excuse me, it's got the big hole in the middle of the base of the guitar. But then there was like a separate little hole up near the edge, and I don't know what that's for. I'm guessing it's to make it a little bit louder without having to add amplification. But it was really kind of cool to see. They had two guitar players, they had two horn players, they had a violin player, and they were just kind of going from room to room there at El Paso, playing a couple songs. And it really added, it was a nice touch. It really, really was. And I enjoyed it, and we all did. And I think most of the people in the room did. It was, not too loud. Sometimes you can be in a room with someone playing guitar, especially when you're talking about not just the guitar, but the two horns. But they kept it relatively low volume considering the room that they were in, and didn't overpower the violin or the guitar or the guy singing. And it was wonderful. And these are the kinds of reasons why we prefer to go to local restaurants and local chains as compared to the great big chains that have national locations. It's the difference between going to a really, really good local steakhouse
Okay.
and Outback. And that's, you know, and if you like Outback, that's fine. You know, Outback is, for the most part, reasonably reliable, though the one we have locally I had some issues with, and I talked about that on another show. It doesn't matter. But the fact that the local restaurants, they try new things. They try things that, you know, big corporate chains don't even think about. Excuse me. Oop, it's red. So, pardon me. So that was great. It was the cap of a really good day of having Peter and Liza up here. But something weird happened when I got done loading the car, and when we got done loading up my car and I was leaving, I had very little gas. I didn't have that much gas when I left, but I had left later than I had really wanted to. So I figured I would just get gas in Fredericksburg. And I belong to a local warehouse chain where gas is a little bit cheaper. So after we got the car packed up, I went ahead and drove to that big warehouse chain. And there was just this huge line waiting to get gas. And it was probably like 15 minutes or so of just sitting there waiting to get gas. And it was like, I hope that this gas is a lot cheaper than what I would have gotten elsewhere. And I was paying attention to how much gas cost elsewhere. And the lowest that I saw on my way to the warehouse was $3.54, $3.55, something like that, a gallon. So as I was waiting in line, I looked up ahead of me, and two cars in front of me was a Tesla, which of course doesn't need gas. It's, you know, it's an electric car. So I was sitting there thinking, what is this guy doing in line? And, you know, why is he in line for gas? And it was perplexing. I could not think of a reason why this guy in an electric car would be waiting for gas. And when he got up to the pump, he popped his trunk and pulled out a couple of plastic petrol cans. So obviously he was, you know, filling it up for probably, what do you call it, you know, gasoline powered lawnmowers or, you know, stuff like that around the house. But it wasn't for his car, which, you know, answered that question. And I got up and I went to fill up my car, and I looked at the price of the gas, and it was like $3.46 a gallon. So I saved about 8 cents a gallon over what I would have paid elsewhere. Waited, you know, had to drive to this special place to get it, and then waited in line 15-20 minutes before I could go up to the pump and start to pump gas. And it was like, so with a car, and I filled up to about 11 gallons. So I saved about 88 cents, less than $1. And it was like, you know, it's things like that. And you know, these warehouse clubs, for the most part, don't put out a sign saying how much their gas is. So it's going to be whatever it is when you get to the pump. And for less than $1, I should have stopped at a Valero or, you know, some other gas station that would have been much more convenient, and I would have gotten on the road much faster. And it just wasn't worth it. And the warehouse club pumps in the area where I live are typically 20 cents a gallon less, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes of 3 pumps each. That's 18 pumps, whereas this place only had, I think, 12. So the line was much longer, but it wasn't worth it. And the next time I'm down in that area and need gas, I'll just go someplace else. It wasn't worth standing in line or waiting in line for as long as I did. And amusement of seeing a Tesla in line at a gas station also wasn't worth it. It just didn't make any sense, but it was a fun little mystery while it lasted. Anyway, that's that little bit of nonsense is all I have for today for Guy's Daily Drive. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you can. And people are blocking this van and can't believe it. Poor guy. You can get a hold of me, send me an email to guy@mymac.com. I'm on a lot of the social medias. Just look for Mac Parrot. Do a search for Mac Parrot. You'll probably find me there. And on some of them, I am also VertShark. So VertShark is the website where you can find all of the odds and all of the vids. I post them all there. Of course, there's the mymac.com podcast, which you can find at mymac.com, that I do with Gaz almost every single week. And we just we have such a great time doing that show. It's a lot of fun. Oh, is this guy gonna go? Yeah, what a nice guy. You let him in. Very good. So if you'd like to help support the things that I do, because all these services do cost me money, you can do so by going to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or PayPal at paypal.me/MacParrot. And you don't have to. You know, this isn't like this isn't a guilt trip thing. You know, you don't have to give me nothing. And I'll keep doing it because I enjoy it. And that's the whole point. Don't do something that you really don't like, especially if you're not getting paid for it. Well, I enjoy doing this. So whether I make money or lose money at it, I'll keep doing it. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.